going, BG fam? It's me, that Bizarro of Bizarro Gaming, bringing you that sweet content you've been asking for. So this is going to be a little different of an episode. I promised a new series, and this one's going to be called Unscripted. I think uncensored, unedited, uncensored. I think that's what it's named. But yeah, so new series, and it's kind of going to be this unedited. You get to see all my blabbering, no script, uncensored, no camera edits. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. No character as well. So yeah. So this episode is going to be about my gaming collection and kind of where I come from as far as gaming, and a little bit about me, the character behind, or the person behind the character Bizarro. So most of you that watch this channel right now know a little bit about me, but don't know probably like my gaming history. So I grew up a pretty poor kid. Didn't really have a lot of money to spend on video games. I always was like a generation behind normally. So I grew up on the NES, then got the Super Nintendo before getting a Dreamcast, then an N64, PlayStation 2, just kept going on. I've had about probably every major system with the exception of a Sega Saturn, a GameCube. I don't own a GameCube. I have a Wii that I can play GameCube games, but yeah, there's a few systems I've not had, but and I've not had anything like Atari or anything like that. So I have been in and out of games my whole life, and so probably about January, I decided I wanted to start a YouTube channel about retro gaming. Originally, it was going to be just retro gaming, no current gaming or anything like that. I was talking to my friends and like, why don't you put in some current gaming as well? So I decided to do a perfect mixture because I love all things gaming. So I started picking up some systems, some games, and since February, since I started buying, I have, got a great game library of over 200 games. I have got 7 systems that are behind me, and I will go into those here in a second. And I mean, I've been very blessed. A lot of these finds are through thrift stores, pawn shops. I've done a little eBay. I've done a lot of buying and selling to get more money. So there's a lot of things if you want to get into retro gaming. There's a lot of channels out there that'll help you kind of look or know what to look for as far as, good deals, where to go, there's just so much out there. But yeah, so this is my gaming library. So you guys have seen the unboxed PS4. So what I started out with was this PS3. So this PS3 is backwards compatible with the PS2 and the PS1 games, and that is why I got this. It is a highly sought after system. It comes with, I think, a 60 gigabyte system or 60 gigabyte hard drive. Upgraded it to a 500 gigabyte hard drive. Definitely love this system. That's what I play all my older games on. Definitely recommend, if you can find one for a good price, picking it up. And then I picked up a Dreamcast. So the Dreamcast that I owned as a kid actually didn't have very long. Long story short, it was sold, and yeah. So anyway, picked this up at McKay's, and I've not played it a whole lot, sadly, but I've got a few games that I really love for it as a child. I've played them since I got it. Definitely a cool system to have. Sega's last system, which is sad at the same time. The Dreamcast was so ahead of its time. Online gaming, which Xbox, took the ball and ran with. But yeah, awesome system there. So then I got the PS4 that, like I said, unboxed on the channel. which I showed the film about 2 months probably after I filmed it. Just wanted to kind of get my bearing going on this channel. But yeah, so that's the PS4 that I played it this probably quite a bit more than most of the systems I have. So then there's a system I don't have in here, an Xbox. I picked up a regular Xbox from McKay's, or actually I picked up one from a guy off Facebook Marketplace. $50, had 4 games, 2 controllers. Brought it home and the disc laser did not work. So I tried to fix it, didn't work. So I went to McKay's and bought another one, had some trade-in stuff. Got it. It worked better. The laser still was weak, so some of my games didn't play on it. So I was like, I'm just gonna sell this and then get a 360. So I bought a 360. This is not the first one that I bought, and boy, whew. So the first 360 I got from McKay's. Again, McKay's is awesome because if it doesn't work, you can always return it. So don't steer clear of them just because I've had some bad situations. But I've had a lot of good experiences because a lot of games I've got there work perfectly. So brought it home, didn't work. It actually, the fan didn't work in it, so it had the red dot of death for the slim version, which is very rare. So yeah, I took it back, got my money, went to CM Games in West Town, and bought this beauty right here, Gears of War edition, which is really cool. I like special editions, as you can see. So my girlfriend actually had a PS2 and a Nintendo Wii that we've added to the collection. And you know, the cool thing about the Wii is you can play Wii games and GameCube games on it, and so I started picking up a little bit of both. And then kind of rounding out the collection, which actually just got picked up yesterday from this filming, was the PS1, the original model. And I originally wasn't going to get one for a while. I wanted to get one to kind of complete the set. I plan on getting a lot of different consoles, but went to a Carm thrift store, and this, my lord, this is beautiful. It is clean. The controller, it comes with 2 of the original controllers, and I just could not pass up on it. And I mean, yeah, so I picked that up. Awesome find. And like I said, go to thrift stores, go to pawn shops. You can find a lot of good stuff from those. So before I had all these, I had a little thing that you could play retro games on, and it's called a Retro Pi. So I bought this probably about a year ago on eBay, and I looked into it before I bought it. But so you can buy these with games already downloaded on it, or you can make your own. It's got a SD card you can slide into it with games uploaded. It's literally a mini computer. So it's called a Retro Pi. It is technically a Raspberry Pi 3. They have a Raspberry Pi 4 now, so if you want to look into that. But it has all the Atari games, like all the released US and even Japanese released. So Atari, the 2 Atari systems, I don't even want to butcher the names of the numbers because I can never remember that. The regular Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, Famicom, and Super Famicom, all combined into the Super Nintendo and regular Nintendo. Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, the Sega Game Gear, Game Boy Color, and has some of the Game Boy Advance games. It doesn't have all of them. TurboGrafx, there's some arcade games, but they all work great. And you can plug it into an HDMI port, has that. And I mean, as long as you buy a USB type controller, you can play any controller on these. I use a Genesis controller on this most of the time. I have Super Nintendo controllers as well. But yeah, it's really cool. You can play all those old classic games on this. If you want to play games on a budget, this is definitely, it's like $124. Definitely worth the money if you want to game on eBay, RetroPie. Look it up if you want it. So another thing I was going to do with this was kind of show you a couple games that I recommend picking up if you get any of these systems. So I will start actually with the PlayStation. So I would recommend anyone that's picking up a PlayStation to pick up Gran Turismo and Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Both these games are classics, great racing simulator and even an arcade racing game. And then Tony Hawk Pro Skater, I mean, they're making a remake of 1 and 2, and this is an awesome game. Like most of the kids of the 90s grew up with this. Great controls, definitely recommend picking up. So we'll go to the PS2 and Grand Theft Auto Vice City and Ultimate Spider-Man. So I've got to kind of brag on this copy a little bit. So I picked this up probably about close to a month ago, maybe 3 weeks. And this version, my brother had as we were kids, and I loved this version. It was extremely hard to find. I had I had picked up the original, like regular edition version for the Xbox, and I wanted to find this one. It is extremely hard to find. There was a guy that was on eBay, had it listed, had just listed it, and had it for kind of really expensive. And I offered half of what he had, and he bought it, or he accepted the offer. And I mean, it's in pristine condition. It's very hard to find this edition in great condition like that. Sorry if this is kind of rambling. This is the Unscripted though. So we'll go to PS3 next. And these are two of my favorite games probably I've ever played for it. And that's Dante's Inferno. I've not played this edition yet, I just picked this up. But it's the Divine Edition. Got some bonus stuff, some downloadable content. But yeah, the Dante's Inferno, great game. Very detailed. And then Fallout 3, man. So this is what introduced me to the Fallout series. And so far there's not been a Fallout that has compared to this one. I love Fallout 3. Liam Neeson is actually a voice actor in that, so little call out there. Before we get into the PS4, I'm actually going to head back over to the Xbox games. So anyone that owns an Xbox, even if it's just a 360, you have backwards compatibility for a lot of the games. Halo and Halo 2 are definitely amongst those. I'll show them to you right here. Collector's edition. I actually found this for like $5 at McKay's. It's really cool. I had to get an extra disc for it, but the disc was not hard to find at all. But both of those are great shooters. Define the shooter franchise going forward. Going into the 360, Halo 3, if you play these, you've got to play that one. And then Saints Row 1 and 2. So these, if you play Grand Theft Auto, you want something a little more lighthearted, definitely recommend these. A lot of customization if you like to customize, and just a great, funny story, honestly, with them. 2 is really hilarious. Then they get kind of crazy with 3 and 4, but they're still good. I recommend them still. So the Dreamcast we're going to. So a system, like I said, I grew up with. Ready to Rumble Boxing and Sonic Adventure. If you pick up this system, you have to get these two games. I mean, they're great. This Sonic Adventure actually has, it's a not for resale version. And it has a bonus disc, let me if I can turn it over, of Sonic Adventure 2. It's a trial disc, so it's really cool to have that one. Picked that up on eBay, and then Ready to Rumble. Great boxing game, arcade. Michael Buffers actually announces this game, so pretty cool. And then the Wii. So if you love the GameCube, you've got to pick up Super Smash Bros. Melee. I would recommend waiting for the price to go down, but you can try to find someone with a good priced one. And then this Zelda game, Zelda Twilight Princess. I gonna try to find it on the GameCube, but I have the Wii version. Great game. Good Zelda game. Not Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time, but still a great title. Then let's round it off and kind of wrap this up. So we've got the PlayStation 4 recommendations. The Last of Us. If you have a PS3 only, pick up The Last of Us for it. If you have a PlayStation 4, pick it up. The remastered version is beautiful. I mean, yeah, so beautiful. I played it through, beat it, loved the game. Got to, not played it, but just a brief moment. So no spoilers, please. And then Horizon Zero Dawn. Not played this version of it complete, and I'm not beating it, but it's a beautiful game. Great story. Open world. Yeah, I just recommend it for sure. It's a great game. So many great games for all these systems. And so the goal of this channel from the very get-go was to have a vast library so I could one day kind of do gameplays, stream, looking to get a game card eventually to do that. But I mean, I just started it with a small vision of retro gaming and have built it to the library I have, and doing even retro stuff in general. So like I've started collecting VHS tapes. You know, there's actually some money in those, surprisingly, not a whole lot, but you can find them very cheap. But there's another channel that I watch that does kind of like a challenge, a $10 game challenge actually. Retro Rick, I recommend watching his videos. But he has built his library off of buying and selling and trading, and kind of want to do a series based off of that. So that may be something we come up with in the future. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the videos that I produce. I know sometimes I'm a little slow. I work as an assistant manager, and I'm salaried. I've worked some long hours, and I travel an hour to and from to work each day. So my time is limited. I'm about to have a daughter as well, so I'm excited for that, and it's going to take some more time. But I hope to be able to consistently do this. It may not be on a scheduled basis, but if you enjoy these videos, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and just tell your friends. I mean, this is the start of something that I love, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. I always ask you guys to leave some recommendations, ideas in the comments. Blow that comment box up. I don't care if it's criticisms, if it's ideas. Just be friendly and, you know, nice to everyone. But yeah, so this has been Unscripted. We'll see if we do this in the future, but this is just an idea. But I hope you enjoyed it. This is my gaming collection, and I am the Bizarro of Bizarro Gaming without a Yoo-hoo, by the way. So next time we'll have Yoo-hoo. But until next time, I thank you guys for watching.